Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. So I wanted to kind of give the story a day or so to breathe or to develop and see where we end up at. And clearly we're back at the same part that we were at when I left off from this. And that is, it doesn't seem like Deontay Wilder will be taking a trip over to Cardiff, Wales to possibly hype up, to get the exposure, to kind of build up and put pressure on the AJ camp. He's not going to basically splash into the UK, at least that's the rumor. You know what I mean? I haven't seen any indications from Deontay Wilder that he will go. I've heard him in interviews stating that he will not go. He does not want the cameras pushed in his face. He doesn't want Dillian White pushed on him. And I am under the impression, once again, that he should go. He should go raise up the pressure on the AJ camp, because I'm under the understanding that no matter how much us Americans over here want Deontay Wilder to be this, to be that, to be this, we are not the ones that are paying AJ 20, 25 million per fight. It's the UK fans that are doing that. And in order to change the tide in this thing, I thought Deontay Wilder should have went on over there. Now, there's news out today about this situation, and the way this thing is developing, basically it's showing Eddie Hearn and Project AJ for the snakes that they are. And the reason that I say this is because Deontay Wilder came out and stated that, I would fight Dillian White. I have no problem with fighting him here in America. And I'll fight him. Only thing that I'm asking is that there be a guarantee with AJ being next. A very, very, very reasonable offer. An offer that I believe that if Eddie Hearn would have put on the table, they'd have got Deontay Wilder overseas no matter what. You know what I mean? It's a very simple offer. I fight White, I get AJ next. That way, that gives me a time frame that lets me know when, where, who, when, how this thing's going to go. And I'm not just flying in a blind. And you ain't going to just keep moving the goalposts. So clearly, it was an attempt by Deontay Wilder in his camp to get Eddie Hearn on record to state that, we'll do that. You know what I mean? The same way that Radio Raheem, as of recently over at Seconds Out, was able to interview AJ and get him on the record about a bunch of stuff, stating that he accepts a lot of the terms that Deontay Wilder will put out there, meaning that they fight for a small amount, the one to get the bulk of the money, type thing. And he says that he'll be down with that, you know what I mean? Rematch clauses and all. So, he's clearly on record now, but I'm sure Eddie Hearn will come out and trump that. But anyway, and I think that's more of a reasonable offer. I'll fight Dillian White long as AJ comes next. Now, then you hear Eddie Hearn coming right behind that. Well, kind of nudging towards that he wants to promote Wilder. Oh, well, the fight can be much more easier if I promoted Wilder, or I can get Deontay Wilder double what he's making now. You know what I'm saying? And then you see the Sky Sports puppets like Johnny Nelson, the cronies like Johnny Nelson coming out. Yeah, well, Eddie Hearn can do so much better with Wilder. No one knows who he is. Well, clearly, fight fans have made the case to you UK fans that boxing is not the number one sport here. Boxing goes down 2, 3, I don't know, maybe the 4th, 5th more popular sport here in America. So clearly we have reasons why our American champion is not nearly as popular probably as Joshua is over there, because there are other sports here. There are bigger sports here. People have tried to effectively make this case over and over again, but it's like people ain't hearing it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, then this is the new thing about Eddie Hearn. Now he wants to promote Deontay Wilder. And this is the way Eddie Hearn always kind of nudges the goalpost. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That is a no-go, man. That is a no-go. Deontay Wilder is not going to be promoted by Eddie Hearn under any circumstances. At the end of the day, that will look like the most sellout move to his fan base here in America, ladies and gentlemen. Do y'all not understand that? Daniel Jacobs could do it because he's not the American heavyweight champion. Jarrell Big Baby Miller can do it. He's not the American heavyweight champion. Deontay Wilder is, you know what I'm saying? And we do not want to see him lower his standards or have to bend to the will of Eddie Hearn. No. He moves freely. He has freedom in his current situation, something that AJ doesn't have. See, Project AJ, though he's making all of this money, he has to dance to Eddie Hearn's tune, something that Deontay Wilder does not have to do. You know what I mean? And he will not do, So, like I said before, if he decided not to go on over there, I'm still going to back him. I will prefer that he did, but I understand the reason that he doesn't. There's a lot of people whom I respect heavily here on YouTube that says that they think that he should stay here. That's a cool, if that's the approach, fine. I just want the faster approach to get to an AJ fight at the end of the day. And I believe him going over there was the way, but I want the fastest approach because I'm tired of stalling. You know what I mean? So, now he's talking about he wants to promote Deontay Wilder. That's a no-go. The Sky Sports cronies can come out and say it. That's a no-go. And now we're hearing him say that, look, man, it's better that you accept Dillian White, because I don't know if y'all heard, Deontay Wilder has been doing interviews as of lately, and he's been stating in his interviews that, I have a year to make my mandatory and make it happen. He doesn't care what the WBC say. They can say whatever they want. He ain't doing it right now, Now, clearly, we know that the WBC will eventually order or mandate that fight. But if they give Wilder a year to do such, then I'm sure Dillian White can find something to do in the meantime, between time. Maybe even fight Luis Ortiz, who's sitting right there, number 2 or number 3? Somewhere up in there, you know what I mean? So he can fight Luis Ortiz. Because Project AJ in his corner, Eddie Hearn, is indicating today that they're looking to move towards Alexander Povetkin next. It looks as if that they were in talks behind the scenes already with Alexander Povetkin in his corner, and they've already came to the conclusion that when they fight, they're going to fight in the UK and not in Russia. So, he's been, and Alexander Povetkin is fighting on the undercard against David Price on the undercard of AJ and Parker's fight. So they're positioning themselves to take on Alexander Povetkin next. He will be the WBA mandatory if he defeats David Price. And the WBA president has already came out and stated that they have to make that fight this year. So that's the direction that they're going to look to go to next. I'm sure that they're going to be able to sell it to the UK fans and leaving Wilder to either fight Dillian White or find another opponent. And my question is, who can that other opponent be? Luis Ortiz is already out of the way. Tyson Fury is not ready. Shannon the Cannon, I don't know what he's doing. You know what? Oh, Shannon the Cannon. Before I even keep going, hats off to Shannon Briggs, man. Hats off to Shannon Briggs. It looks to me, even though earlier in the year Tyson Fury told some fighters to be on notice, but by Shannon Briggs coming out and stating that, him and Tyson Fury supposed to be making a fight at the end of this year, I know that sends Eddie Hearn blood boiling, because that effectively takes Tyson Fury off the table this year, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure that Eddie Hearn is only stalling to make it to that Tyson Fury fight first, and then hopefully get Wilder. Well, Shannon Briggs has been coming out running to any camera that would listen, like, I'm fighting Tyson Fury. I got text messages. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it looks as if that they have a fight they're working on. And so Tyson Fury is not an option for Project AJ right now. Hats off to them over there, man. Hats off to them, man. But yeah, man. I mean, who is Deontay Wilder going to fight, though, man? That's the grand question. Dominique Brazil is busy. Shannon the Cannon is busy. Tyson Fury is trying to get himself back in shape. Now, Big Baby Miller stating that he wouldn't mind taking the fight, but does anybody have the appetite to see that particular fight? You know what I mean? So it's just like, man, the Dillian White option is looking like the absolute best option, and Eddie Hearn knows this, you know what I mean? But however, with the WBC giving Wilder a year to make this mandatory challenge, if they give him a year, then, Dillian White's going to have to do something in the meantime, between time. That's just at the end of the day. But, we being stubborn around here, and it's all about principle. I understand, folks. It's all about principle right now. But, man, I just don't see Wilder being able to fight anybody in the near future that, honestly, I would prefer to see over Dillian White. You know what I mean? Like, even if it wasn't an Eddie Hearn thing, like, if this was the climate in the landscape of available fighters left, I'd say take Dillian White. I mean, honestly. But, fight fans are going to soon see that fight is going to soon be ordered. And according to Eddie Hearn, it's better for them to make the fight now, allegedly, because if they make the fight now, they'll pay Wilder $4 million plus. On top of that, give him a rematch clause. You know what I mean? But however, if it gets ordered by the WBC, Eddie Hearn is stating that there will be no rematch clause because they are not obligated to put one in the contract. So it would look better for Wilder to do it now. Wilder ain't gonna take that bait, ladies and gentlemen, because even I've already said that if he fights Dillian White, I don't want him to do it right away. Let them sweat a little bit, push it down the road just a little, you know what I mean? But however, be the one to initiate the fight. But push it down some. You don't have to immediately do it. Make them sweat a little bit. Raise the pressure up on them some more. But let it be known that you ain't running from no damn Dillian White. You know what I mean? But my thing is, why ain't Eddie Hearn okay with the deal that if Wilder fights White, then he gets AJ next? I understand he has the Povetkin fight. But just like Eddie Hearn stated, if AJ goes and fight Povetkin, they still will have enough time by the end of the year to sneak that Wilder fight in. He's saying October, November, or December. But I've also remember Eddie Hearn stating in the past that this is a summertime fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we won't get that fight this year. We won't get that fight this year. When that time comes, they're going to say, well, this thing deserves to be in a stadium. It should be in the summertime. And they're going to kick it to next summer. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all what's going to happen, man. You know what I mean? So once again, it's going to effectively leave Deontay Wilder sitting around like, yo, what am I going to do next? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want to see that, man. But though that's the latest updates when it's coming to this situation right here, man. We're still in a stalemate, it looks like. I truly believe at the end of the day, when the smoke all clears, we're still going to get a Deontay Wilder versus Dillian Whyte fight, man. I think that people, you know, no matter what, how much we feel, until Wilder effectively raises the pressure using the UK fans, this is going to be the Eddie Hearn show, man. I mean, unfortunately, I hate to say that. I really hate to say that. What Wilder's corner need to be effectively doing right now is putting on a press tour for Wilder, man. Like, yo, American press tour. He needs to build up his American support to levels that he have never seen before. If he's not going to entice the UK fans to come and rock with him, then guess what? He has to raise the pressure here 50,000 times than what he has now, man. That noise need to be heard all the way across the water, man. Real talk, man. So I hope something progresses in this, man. I want to see this go down the road of AJ still going around fighting whoever he wants to fight. He'll get Povetkin, he'll get Miller, he'll get Fury, he'll get all of these guys. And Wilder's sitting over here, you know, fighting God knows who, man. I don't want to see that, man. And Eddie Hearn has positioned his pieces on the chessboard to that outcome is a very, very big reality, man. People need to hear me, man. I'm not just talking to hear myself talk. I'm talking because we got to get Wilder into this fight. And Eddie Hearn is going to effectively, just sitting back doing nothing, Eddie Hearn would effectively throw up obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Now, there's a segment of fight fans that also believe that, yo, AJ needs Wilder just as much as Wilder needs AJ. You know, that is very true. But I don't think that AJ needs Wilder as much as he does today than he would down the line. You know what I mean? As of now, the man has options, ladies and gentlemen. When you have 2 or 3 titles, you have options. Trust me on that one. You know, you're the man on the top. On top of that, you'll have mandatories. You'll have everybody who want to get a shot at those titles. He'll have options. Wilder, on the other hand, with that big equalizing right hand, though he has the most respected green belt, you know what I mean? His corner is not, that doesn't give the same deals as, say, Eddie Hearn does. They are not reaching the same level of promotion that Matchroom Boxing and Project AJ is reaching. So no one's reaching across the water to come and fight Wilder. You know what I mean? So it's just like, man, come on, Joe. Like, this thing is just getting more ugly and more ugly by the day, man. Like, oh my gosh, man. Wilder has to go over there, fight fans. It's the only way, man. We're going to be having this conversation for the next 6 months, man. Like, yo, he has to go over there, man. Make a big splash. Make a big impact somehow, some way. If you don't want to do it at this event, do it at the next one, man. But, yo, he has to raise the pressure. Sitting over here, just allowing things, the wheels to turn, man. Sitting around for the next 6 to 8 to 9 to 10 months doing nothing or fighting Joe Blow. It's not what I want to see. But if that's the route, then so be it. I'm going to rock with him regardless. So we'll see, man. So to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man. Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. It's just that, yo, man, I just didn't want to see this outcome. And I'm telling y'all, man, I understand Wilder's position and I understand his supporters' position. I just hope that y'all know what y'all saying, and I hope they know what they doing. Because in the past, they've been outmaneuvered by sitting back doing nothing. Let's hope that doesn't continue to be the case. To the next video. Peace out.